In today's video, we are recapping my first trimester of being pregnant. And this is just a disclaimer. Every woman on this planet may either have similar symptoms and emotions and feelings that I went through, maybe have nothing at all, which bless your soul, very, very fortunate, or the opposite side where it's really, really bad and there's points where people have to get hospitalized in the first trimester. I just want to say that I'm very grateful to be a woman, to see what my body can handle, what my mind can handle. It is truly a blessing, and it's incredible. It really is. It may sound very, very, very terrible, this first trimester. So I'm not trying to deter anyone who is trying to get pregnant. No, I think now being in almost giving birth, I'd say it was worth the suffering. So I'm going to break this video up into 4 parts. I'm going to share my symptoms, I'm going to share how I felt emotionally, and I'm going to be really raw and open. Also, things that have helped me compared to what I found on the internet, and also the point of view of my husband. I really think that is important because not only was I going through these symptoms, he witnessed everything, and I want to bring him on here so he can share his side of how the first trimester went for him. So one of my symptoms, which is the most common in the first trimester, is morning sickness. And let me tell you, when they say morning sickness, it is a lie. This sickness that I had was all day, every day for the first 3 months.
This is May 25th and I am in the shower and I literally just threw up my breakfast, and I am almost 7 weeks pregnant. It's been rough.
Another thing is anything hot, like hot showers, being in the heat, it really triggered the morning sickness and made it even worse, and I just felt uncomfortable, so I needed to be in cold. I had to take cold showers. It was just, I couldn't tolerate heat. Normal average weight was around 108, 110 pounds. Due to the morning sickness and the nausea, I lost weight, which my midwife told me that is normal. So I went all the way down to 100 pounds. So I lost about 8 to 10 pounds in the first trimester. I was super, super, super exhausted all the time. So tired. At the same time, I just couldn't sleep well, and I couldn't nap. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't nap, and I was just always tired, and it was because that nausea feeling just never went away. I always had this weird lower back sensation of warmth, and it would come and go. It'd be really, really hot in my lower back, and all of a sudden it'd be really cold and then really, really hot. I thought that was weird. I don't know if it's a common thing. I did a lot of burping. I was constipated. I had really, really, really bad acid reflux, and I think those are majority of my symptoms. So it was really just overall nausea, vomiting, feeling like complete total poop, not feeling like myself, feeling hopeless, depressed, and just so out of it. I felt like I was a zombie, and this baby took every ounce of my energy that first trimester, let me tell you that. I just want to say, it's crazy how the brain tries to dig that trauma that you had really, 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 really deep inside, so your brain doesn't really remember it. It was rough. It was very, very rough. I remember days that I used to go to work during the first trimester. I would sit there and I would just feel terrible. I couldn't even explain how I felt. I was nauseous, but then I had acid reflux at the same time, and then I was lightheaded, and then I was hungry, but then I wasn't hungry because then if I ate something, it didn't taste good, and then I just wanted to sit and not do anything. There's moments also where I would sit on the sofa for a week straight, and I would just be zombied out. My husband would be like, hey, let's go for a walk, let's go out, let's go do something. I'm just no. I was I can't. And I tried so hard resume a normal lifestyle. So we were rock climbing, we were going on trips, we were eating out. It just was uncomfortable and I just wanted to be on that sofa kind of like wasting away. Now, I knew that wasn't healthy and I needed to at least get some movement in. So emotionally, I was just like shot. I felt sad. I felt overwhelmed. During the first trimester, I was grieving. I was grieving that I was pregnant because I didn't want to be pregnant. We weren't planning a child. We weren't expecting this. But I am very grateful that we are able to create this bundle of joy, because I know a lot of women, a lot of people and couples struggle on conceiving. So I'm truly grateful. But again, in that moment of my mind and how I felt and experienced everything, I was just so like, I was grieving because pregnant and hormones. Oh my God, I'm gonna be a mom. And like everything was just hitting me. Like, you're gonna be a mom, you're gonna go through this 3 months first trimester of sickness, and then you don't want to eat, and then the things that you normally do you don't enjoy because it's a struggle, because you're just weak and it's all over the place. So I was very overwhelmed with those emotions. I felt like I lost myself, lost who I was. I sat on the sofa, or I laid in bed, or I just I couldn't do normal things that I normally did. Some days I would tell my husband, I would tell him joking around like, yo, I was like, this is so overwhelming, this is so much for me that I just want to like climb on the roof and just like jump and just like get these feelings over with. Again, I'm not suicidal. I did have thoughts like that, and I'm gonna be completely honest, because going through something like that for such a longer period of time than what I'm normally used to, it was hard. It was very, very difficult to process those emotions. 2 things that actually helped me to get through the first trimester is, 1, my husband constantly gave me hope. This is going to pass. Like, what you're feeling right now is going to pass. Yes, this sucks and it's every day and it's going to be for X amount of weeks, but it will pass and you will feel better. I really appreciated that support and those words. If you are a husband watching this, trying to figure out what your wife is going to go through during these trimesters of pregnancy, just be encouraging, be loving, and give them hope. Sometimes they don't want to hear it. Sometimes I didn't want to hear it. I heard it, and I kept it back in my mind, because on those days that it was really, really tough, I told myself, I'm going to get through this. It's going to get better, and I'm going to be okay. I just got to get to week 14. Just get to week 14. And the second thing that really helped me, on top of my husband's words of encouragement, was doing research. Understanding the process and the reasons why I am experiencing morning sickness, nausea, and all of these symptoms. It really opened up my eyes to be like, wow, the human body, the woman human body is absolutely amazing. Just to understand like the hormone, what the body is doing, how is the body working right now, why am I experiencing this? I really was a strong believer, and still am a strong believer, that just because I'm pregnant, I'm not going to rely everything on my doctor or my midwife. I want to take responsibility and learn and understand what my body's going through, so I can better serve my body and the needs for me and this thing, this baby that is growing inside of me. Google will have a lot of suggestions on what you can do, or what you can eat, or what you can take to help you with your nausea and your morning sickness. Now, just to kind of like shoot some stuff out, they recommend eating cold food, raw vegetables, sandwiches, bland food, so like soups, broths, plain baked potatoes, a lot of plain vegetables and fruits. Keep your meals small, foods that are rich in vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 is supposed to help with the nausea. Also suggest eating lemons, ginger, peppermint tea, crackers, jello, flavored popsicles, and pretzels. Some other things, like pregnancy related, is like they have special like lollipops, ginger candies, and stuff like that. That stuff didn't really help me. Temporarily, but not really. Those are some things that I found on Google. your first trimester and throughout your pregnancy, you are going to have OBGYN or a midwife. So I contacted my midwife and I'm like, please help me. I need help. This Google stuff, recommendations is not helping. I'm just gonna read you guys some of the things that my midwife recommended. So she mentioned to rest. Rest as much as possible because your body's doing a lot of work. Also, eat every 2 hours. This is really important because you want to have energy to do things and also kind of have the nausea subside just a little bit. Also, increase your protein intake. Protein is supposed to hold down your hunger a bit better, and that did actually help. Drink a nettle infusion. If you drink coffee, then you can continue drinking coffee. Stay hydrated, but don't chug the water. If you're not eating too much, for me, aim for slightly sugary drinks like juices, tea, and honey, and coconut water to give you a little extra energy. I drank coconut water and I threw up. I couldn't bear the taste of coconut water. And then for the nausea, she recommended trying vitamin B6 and Unisom. So that combination together supposed to kind of kill the nausea, but at the same time help me sleep. It didn't help. It was getting to the point where she prescribed me medication, and she prescribed me Zofran. And Zofran really helped, but it took a couple of days. I figured out that the nausea is not only nausea, but it's a really bad case of acid reflux. So I took my Zofran medication for the nausea, but then I also took Pepcid. And once I started taking Pepcid, my life in my first trimester completely changed. Like, I still felt sick and unwell, but I felt so much better.
This is my first pregnancy and tired, and I have found the cure to morning sickness. It's called Pepcid Complete.
She also recommends that ginger works really great, and also to ditch morning toothbrushing, which sounds nasty because it triggers vomiting. Peppermint tea, peppermint oil, sniffing, rubbing alcohol for the moments that you really need it. She also recommended not to take prenatals that have iron with it because the iron within the prenatals makes the nausea a lot worse. One big thing that really helped me was exercise. I know a lot of you are gonna tell me, hey, I can't exercise at all. Like, I feel so disgusting and bad. Trust me, I didn't want to exercise either. But my husband was like, you gotta move a little bit. At least you can't just live for 3 months on a sofa. We have a Peloton, so I was like, okay, what can I do? Let me do a light workout on the Peloton. Every time after the Peloton ride, after 30 minutes, I drank water and then I threw up. This is not working. I am cutting this out completely. Then I tried walking. We walked every day for at least 30 minutes to an hour. I was so slow because I was out of breath and I was just like, bleh. It really helped subside with the nausea and feeling just down and all of these overwhelming emotions. I was able to process it better. But I also did a little bit of strength work at the gym. And drinking ice cold water helps. Not room temperature, not hot, ice cold water really helped soothe me. Also, letting myself kind of just be and not do a lot, because in the process of grieving, so much stuff was going on up in here while the baby was baking down there, and I just kind of gave myself time. I reflected, I journaled a lot, I watched other YouTubers, I spoke to other mothers about their pregnancy journey and how they felt, and it really helped me kind of reassure and understand my emotions and my feelings. Another thing that really helped, once I started taking Unisom and the prescription, the Zofran, I was able to sleep better and nap, so I did a lot of sleeping and a lot of napping, which personally I thought was annoying because I wanted to do stuff. But again, back to letting myself just be and having that self-love, very crucial and important throughout the first trimester for me. Other things, like food-wise, I am vegan. I've been vegan for years. I continued eating vegan throughout my pregnancy, and it's been great. Here are some things that I loved to eat, but during my first trimester, I just couldn't. I couldn't eat spaghetti with tomato sauce. I couldn't eat anything acidic. I couldn't eat nuts, salads. I I couldn't eat any of that stuff because I either would throw up or I didn't want it. It was just bleh. But the things that really did help me, the things that I ate to kind of like survive and thrive, were plain saltine crackers, plain like spaghetti pasta noodles.
I'm gonna take a nap. And how much you wanna bet that this little munchkin is gonna eat all of this by the time I wake up?
Soup from the Chinese store. I don't know if it's the salt or what it was, but it really soothed me. It soothed my nausea, and it was really, really just good. Pretzels did help as a snack. Like plain food, like rice, potatoes. That's pretty much what I ate to kind of like survive. survive.
Seeing me go through the first trimester with having our first kid and everything, all the symptoms and stuff like that, how was it from the husband perspective?
It was tough because you know, I wasn't used to seeing you sick. I don't like seeing you sick. It was just tough to see how you were miserable. Like that was the biggest thing. You were, because the nausea, you know, the nausea made you so miserable. Like you didn't want to do anything. You just looked so unhappy, and that sucked watching you like that. And another thing, selfishly, the first trimester, because you felt so sick, you didn't want to go out. You didn't want to go out to eat. You didn't want to go rock climbing. You didn't want to do anything. So selfishly, I'm like, oh man, I kind of miss my wife. I was like, man, this is the start of pregnancy. This sucks. But then, you know, second trimester came out, and you did get better, and you went back to normal.
As a husband, what advice would you give other husbands that see their wives going through the same things that you saw me go through?
You can YouTube phases of pregnancy, and it kind of like, there's that app Baby Center, and just like have an idea what's coming. Like first trimester, some people have really bad nausea and some don't. So like do a little bit of research on like what to expect. So when your wife tells you, yeah, I'm nauseous, I feel like throwing up all the time, I'm miserable, I'm horrible, and you are very withdrawn, they're not freaking out. Like they're like, okay, this is expected, this is normal, so I shouldn't freak out. This is normal. This sucks, but this is normal. You know, knowing what's coming up really helps ease up as a husband. I feel like, you know, and remaining calm. As a husband, I think your job is to remain calm. Your wife emotionally is everywhere. So as a husband, if you remain calm and joyful and happy, just smile. And just, even if your wife's going through nausea, you know, validate her emotions. Say, hey, babe, I know this sucks. What can I do to make you feel better? You know, you want to go out, you want to buy something to eat. Is understanding your needs physically, emotionally, and letting you, you know, feel like, no, it's all right, everything's gonna be okay, babe. Like, you know, settling you, grounding you, and delegating.
From the first trimester, seeing me sick and stuff like that, to now almost giving birth, what's something that you noticed that changed about me?
I think in first trimester you were really scared. You were like, yo, yeah. I'm not sure this. You know, I think the issue is that we live in the U.S., especially in New York. The idea is, man, if you have a baby, you're gonna lose your freedom. You're gonna lose your time. You're gonna lose money. Then you have your own needs as a person. You know, I like to play video games, so I like to have my thing. First trimester, you were very scared because you're like, oh, I'm gonna lose all this. I'm not gonna have this freedom that I'm used to having. I can do whatever I want.
And we weren't expecting to have a kid. This was all a surprise. Not having that freedom, it was the first thing, like, oh crap, we can't do this, we can't do that. But then slowly, you know, we were like, oh no, the kid just comes with us. The kid adapts to our lifestyle. Personally felt like I was grieving, like I mentioned earlier in this video. I was grieving my life, but
I saw that.
Yeah, but then throughout the pregnancy, learning about the pregnancy, what the body is doing, just like a mental mind shift, and just going through this pregnancy and having this kid helped me grow as a person.
So we had to, you know, we're gonna have the baby regardless. So then the choice for us became, do we become happy that we have a family? Do we having a baby? Or do we stay miserable and focus on all the negative? And it really is what you're focused on. And it's not easy. Like, that is not like easy. You know.
Yeah, it took me a while.
Yeah, it took her a few weeks, maybe months, for her to grieve and adjust and be like, man, I am gonna lose my freedom. I am. But then she focused on, we're gonna have a baby. And we're gonna have this beautiful thing. And you talk to parents, and parents, like, you know, I guess depends which parents you talk to, but we have very positive parents around us, and they tell us, oh my God, it's worth it, it's beautiful, you're gonna love it.
Just a message that I want to put out there: if you're pregnant or trying to get pregnant and preparing for this first trimester, or going through this first trimester, I just want to let you know that it feels like it lasts forever. It really feels like it will never go away, and it will just be here constantly nagging at you every single day, every single hour, but it does go away. Also, having support during the first trimester and throughout pregnancy is crucial. Whether it's your husband, your spouse, your partner, friends, family members, let them know. Just voice what you're feeling. What can people do to help you? And do not be afraid. I'm the type of person that doesn't like to ask for help. Do not be afraid to ask for help. You need that help and that support, and it is absolutely crucial, because growing a child inside you takes every ounce of energy and resources that your body has. So please get the support and know that this will not last forever, and there's hope light at the end of the tunnel, okay? I guarantee you that.
Oh, it's no longer rotisserie chick. Is that? Did it move?
Yeah, it's kicking around.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Thank you guys so much for being here, for watching this video. I am going to do a second trimester recap, and I'm also going to do a third trimester recap, because I'm currently 36 weeks. If you guys want to see any videos in particular about my experience throughout pregnancy, leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to enjoy the next couple of videos. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye. Say bye to them. Say bye. Say bye. Oh, yeah, say bye-bye.